And you know, if you're gonna hitch your wagon to a depreciated German Luxo barge, I can't really think of a better one to open the wallet for. Howdy, welcome back to the Addicted Motors YouTube channel. My name is Troy, and what I don't have today is my tripod. What I do have is a 2001 BMW E38 750li, and it's for sale. So this isn't necessarily a review video. There's tons of those out there. There's hours and hours of content on the specifics and the specifications of these wonderfully beautiful aging well BMW sedans, and in my opinion, one of the most beautiful four-door designs, right up there with the W123 Mercedes and whatnot. Just boxy, beautiful, and pretty much timeless. And let's talk about this particular one today. So this particular 850 belongs to a friend of mine. He's a gentleman that purchased the auction 99996 coupe from us, and this is also his. He has a lot of cars, including a few interesting eclectic Ferraris, and this was a toy of his as well. And it is, and it's a bit of a unicorn, right? It's a 750li. I believe it's technically a sport, but the BMW experts can correct me if I'm wrong. It's sitting on M parallels. It's got the big 5.4 V12 engine. It is silky smooth. It is in fairly good condition for the year and the amazing mileage, because it has 219,000 miles on it. Now, arguably, I am a Mercedes guy, and that sounds kind of weird to say because I've probably owned more BMWs than I have Mercedes. That's because I got into BMWs a little bit later in the game. I didn't start with them. My first car was a W126 420 SEL, so I didn't really wet my beak on BMWs till a little bit later in life, and it's not really an unfortunate thing, but I'm getting my fair share of BMW-esque experiences these days, and I'm really finding the answer is always old BMW or older BMW, and this one kind of fits into that category, right? Because newer BMWs and BMWs in general have a lot of, I wouldn't say untrue, reliability related qualms, people could say, but there's some that kind of eclipse that general, generalization, and especially these V12 cars are one of those. So again, this is one of those, I can't believe it has those features type of cars, right? This was the biggest flagship. This was the biggest, baddest one that they made in the time, right? V12, 5.4 liters, about 325-ish horsepower, long wheelbase seats, fully adjustable, leather everything, awesome wood grain. I don't know if it has a heated steering wheel or not. I did ask a few people, what is the earliest car to have a heated steering wheel? And there's a little bit of debate. I don't know if it was a Range Rover, but it might have been something in there. Again, just finished awesome. So many little details that makes it just a little bit more special than a regular 740. Again, I don't know the exact differences off the top of my head, but just sitting in here and the thick glass and just the utter silence that this 25-year-old vehicle can still achieve is wild. The way to sum it up is there's no empty button spaces, right? Every single blank spot is complete. You've got the heated, you got the cooled seats, you got the rear shade, DSC, PDC, ES, EDC. I mean, it's everything. And where it gets even more fun is the back seat, right? Huge, long wheelbase. Here's all the books and bits and bobs that go along with it. You've got heated seats in the back. They are adjustable as well, and they work. Again, yes, are a lot of these features found in most modern vehicles? Sure, but them existing back in this time, and yes, you could have heated electric power seats in early W126s and whatnot as well. But this was it right here, and it's always cool to bump into it again and just kind of be impressed. And you just kind of come back here and play with things. It reminds me of being a kid at a car show and playing with all the buttons of the new Lexus LS 430s and whatnot back in the day, and the new Bangle 7 Series and whatnot. You know, just all the little features of the shades and the windows and the power seats, the cigarette lighters, the wood grain. It's all just interesting. It's all fun. You can kind of play with it all, and I'm about it. It just smells like old BMW in here, which is a bit intoxicating. So many little Easter eggs. Illustrations show 4 stowed golf bags, or a body and a half. It's all there. But here's what it's all about. The 5.4 liter V12. Now, I've owned an 850 manual coupe finished in green, which I found to be a lackluster driving experience when it's mated with the 6-speed manual. You'll get a lot of flame in the comments about that, but that was one of those cars you just don't meet your heroes. This, on the other hand, mated with the normal ZF 5-speed, I believe it is, it's utterly smooth and refined. There's a V12 that's silent, made to a 6-speed that just produces all its torque down low, doesn't do anything for me, but with the automatic, this engine really, I think, performs at in the manner that it was designed to, and I think it's just the better mating of the two mechanical items. But while we're here, let's fire her up. Best starter ever, right? So yeah, 219,000 miles. And this thing's not perfect. There's a few lights on. There's a brake light on, but I think that's just a wheel speed sensor. We just had the brake fluid flushed yesterday. You can hear some of the fans kick on, but the heat, the AC work. The screen kind of goes in and out, but you can get one of those from any junkyard. The radio and all the functions work, just it goes a little bit wonky sometimes. But the beauty of this is he's asking around $6,000 for it, which I believe is a pretty good price considering, the rarity of potentially owning the big body V12 version of an iconic German sports sedan. And again, they don't make pretty things like this anymore. It doesn't, quarter test joke, right? It doesn't even move. And going inside the car, it is like, I come from the Land Rover world, right? Or just the old shitbox world where you come to a traffic light, you coast to a stop, and sometimes the car just dies and doesn't restart. That eerie, silent, smooth feeling when that happens is something that this car seems to achieve while it's running. When I'm at a stoplight, I sit there and I swear that the engine has either died or I have stalled. I have to continually reference the RPM gauge to ensure that I'm not in that state. And again, I understand that cars have been very nice for a very long time, but considering it's 25 years old and it's this quiet, with 220,000 miles is supremely impressive. Yeah, and just parking next to the L322, man, that is a good two-car solution right there. I find that all my cars end up being black. But some cars I think should just be in black. People give black a lot of hate from an automotive color standpoint, but man, it looks good and it looks proper, and this thing looks the business. Again, you had parking sensors and just all kinds of wild options in the day. Xenon headlights. I don't know, guys. I don't think you can do much better for the money for an interesting, enthusiastic V12 classic rust-free German sedan. This is pretty cool. All right, 750 Li. How's it to drive? Well, like most E38s, it's exactly how you would think it would drive. When you step back into time, I think that was the first thing that excited me about older German luxury cars, was how normal they felt in comparison to their age. Of course, a little bong. It's got a little bong. It's okay. Nothing major. I think the coolant sensor needs to be repaired. It likes to remind you that it's an older BMW and it needs a little little bit of, you know, attention every once in a while. But again, it drives heavy in just a wonderfully smooth way. The windshield is in great condition, and that's the driving position. Looking out over the bonnet of an E38 is always a bit special because all you see is windshield and road. You barely see the end of the hood, which again, that's not every BMW, but it's just, especially with an E38, it's just all you see is steering wheel and road, and that's just such a you know, a kind of a motorsport feel. It is again incredibly smooth. I think we just replaced the rear suspension accumulators as well, so it rides very nicely. It's very smooth. It's very quiet. It shifts fine. Again, I don't know if this transmission, this 5-speed, is different from the ones in, let's say, the L322.1 BMW edition Range Rover, or a 540i, or a comparable, you know, 4.4 mated BMW, but it just seems like it absolutely effortlessly pulls you along. And again, also way more healthy than that 850 manual coupe that I had as well. And that car had 100,000 less miles. So I think that's the comparison. Again, 220,000 miles. There's no rattles in here. Okay, maybe a slight little seat rattle. There's no crazy funny noises. There's a little tiny bit of wind noise up here, but that's honestly about it. And you know, if you're going to hitch your wagon to a depreciated German Luxo barge, I can't really think of a better one to open the wallet for, just because it is such a pretty car. It has enough of a heritage associated to it that it'll always kind of be cool. You know, it's not like a mid-2000s with a W220 or so Mercedes S-Class that has more rust issues and they get a little more rounded. I like those cars as well, but if I'm gonna, again, hitch the wagon to something long-term from a financial standpoint, this is up there. I think this could be worth the money to bring it around just a little bit more and have something you're proud of and that's presentable and usable and, you know, will continue to last. And then you have the V12 factor, right? And there is an odd sense of superiority that comes with having that affixed to the front of this car. Now, unlike some other manufacturers, there are no gaudy, outlandish V12 badges that would signify the upgraded engine option for this one. But again, you've got the leather dash, you've got the effortless torque, and again, it doesn't shout, "I am special," which again, this is just an era of cars that didn't need to do that and didn't do that on purpose. Unless you put your foot into a little bit and then it wakes up. Goodbye, peasants. I'm off. I have places to be. And just like that, I'm back to cruising at 40 miles an hour at 1100 RPM. It's fun. I like it. So yeah, I like this aspect of cars, right? Being able to taste a lot of different things and not having to purchase it and be married to it. It really helps me personally whittle down, you know, the things that I like and dislike, and also alleviate some of the stereotypes that are associated with some models, makes, and manufacturers. You know, sometimes the things that other people like, I don't like, and vice versa. So this is one of those things that, you know, I was like, V12, like I've driven a 740i Li Sport, I've driven E38s and stuff, and they've got plenty of power and they feel awesome. But this is just, it is pretty cool. And the cool factor to me is huge, especially when you get in these, again, depreciated Luxo barges. If it doesn't have the cool factor and it's just draining you from a maintenance standpoint, then why keep it around? So, you know, like I said, it has a leg in that race. All right, we'll give give it a little bit of the beans here. Yeah, plenty of life left in it. All right, well, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Again, this car is currently for sale. It's not really listed anywhere. My friend would like to sell it locally, but I can help. We can help you with shipping and whatnot. All right, I think that's gonna wrap up this video. Again, if a $6,000 depreciated V12 German luxury sedan limousine meets your fancy, shoot me an email, give me a call, hit me up on Instagram. My email should be in the description below. It's addictedmotors at Instagram. Peter would like around $6,000 for this car. It just had some service items done. I think we did brake fluid, and again, the rear accumulator spheres, whatever those are called. And it rides great, it drives great. I don't think it has any major issues, but again, it is an old German V12 car, so there's a lot of little BMW things that could help bring this car into a higher grade. But as it sits for the money, I don't think you can do any better. It's pretty darn cool, and that's really going to be it. So hope to hear from you. If not, I got to take a fun spin in this car. So have a great weekend. All right, this is future Troy coming to you from under the bottom of the 750 Li. And as you can see, pretty dry under here. Pretty good condition also. Looks like a new control arm, a few other bits, but everything is how it should be, I believe.